And to be honest with you, I've been contemplating publicly sharing it, but then I was like, you know what? Maybe I could just help one more person with this story too.
Yeah.
Maybe I could give somebody the strength to speak up about something that happened to them that they've been so, the kids don't say nothing because they're ashamed. They think it's their fault, man. They,
Yes.
they're they're embarrassed and they don't want to tell anybody because they think it's their fault. It's not. And I want people to understand that if it has happened to you or you know somebody that's had that, it's not your fault. The person that did it is sick. And I'm sorry, but jail does not do nothing for these people. They literally have a mental sickness that they need to be in a hospital, meted up for the rest of their lives because I don't think that's something that can be fixed. It's something that's in their DNA. It's a pure evil, like you said, man. It's pure evil that walks this earth.
Yeah. It is. And yes, you're right. And that's exactly what I went through, thinking it was my fault. And I'm not trying to deflect over here, but to mirror what you're saying, it's exactly what I felt. Shame and guilt. And I spent a lot of time trying to find the next pretty girl to prove how masculine I was because it was a man that took advantage of me at 6 years old.
Right.
And masking with some drugs, a lot of alcohol, but a lot. uh,
And the only thing I can think of is I'm going through this sober now and finding about it now that I'm sober so that I could actually be there now and I actually can console my daughters and make sure that they get to the therapy sessions with their doctors and make sure that they have a shoulder to cry on. And oh damn, I can't believe I fucking forgot. I totally left this out, man. So during this whole thing, my mom, she's frantic. She's like just, she can't believe it. She's in awe like the rest of us. And my wife goes over to the house to pick up my grandson one day, and my mom's got all these drawers open, and she's fumbling through all these paperwork, and my wife's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm looking for this piece of paper. I just got to find this piece of paper." And my wife's like, what are you looking for?" And my mom looks at my wife, and she says, "You need to sit down. I got to tell you something. I can't believe I forgot to say this." And she looks at my wife and she says, "Do you remember that guy I was dating 6 years ago?" My mom. And I'm like, my wife says, "Yeah." I'm not going to mention his name because he has passed away since, and I don't want his kids to. But anyway, she said, "Well, my middle daughter had wrote my mother a note one night, and the note said, 'Can you please have your boyfriend stop? Can you please tell him to stop, my mom? I just want him to stop.'" And she says, "But please don't tell my daddy because I don't want to lose my daddy because if he finds out, he'll kill him." And my wife looked at my mom and was like, "So that's why you broke up with this guy?" And she says, "Yeah." And she said it wasn't because it was an abrupt breakup. It was like they were going out for 4 years. He had bought my mom a ring. They're both older people and they were going to settle down together. But one day we went over to my mom's house and all his stuff was outside. His daughters were coming to the house to get it. She wouldn't even let him back in the house and she wouldn't tell us why. And we find out during all this that he had been touching my middle daughter as well. And but that note, man, from my daughter saying, "Please don't tell my daddy because I don't want to lose my daddy." Um, dude, I just really haven't been myself the last 2 months, man. I've been holding on to my sobriety with a thin line, brother. But it's possible, man. We're gonna go through some shit, man.
yeah.
Sobriety is not all fucking, the best things in the world where life still happens on life's terms. It doesn't give a shit if you're sober or not. It's how we deal with it.
Yeah.
And they say that, the best and the worst things about getting sober is you get your feelings back, on both ends. And learning to deal with my feelings at 46 years old is like, me going through puberty at 14. It's a whole new experience because I've never been through it before, because I've always been inebriated. I've always been under substance abuse.
This is the Knockin' Doorz Down podcast, featuring celebrities, experts, and everyday people who have overcome adversities, including addiction, mental health, and trauma, to live purposeful lives. And that's what Knockin' Doorz Down is all about.